In a startling revelation, Moody's Analytics has uncovered a staggering number of over 2,000 shell companies, boasting directors aged 123 years or older. This peculiar anomaly, surpassing the age of the oldest known human at 122, raises eyebrows and invites scrutiny into the intricate world of shell company operations. A shell company is a discrete corporate entity designed to carry out various financial transactions while maintaining a facade of legitimacy. These entities, often devoid of substantial business operations or assets, exist primarily to hold and manage funds, offering a veil of secrecy to their true beneficiaries. How does it work? The utilization of a shell company by an entity for financial gain involves capitalizing on the inherent opaqueness of these corporate entities. Although not all dealings with shell companies are inherently unlawful, their intrinsic characteristics render them susceptible to exploitation for nefarious purposes. A key avenue through which an entity can profit from a shell company is by concealing ownership and transactions. The veil of anonymity provided by shell companies enables individuals or entities to obscure their true ownership and financial dealings, complicating efforts by authorities and the public to trace funds to their ultimate beneficiaries. Shell companies, notorious for their involvement in money laundering schemes, facilitate the funneling of illicit funds through layers of complexity, making it challenging to discern the origins of the money. Moreover, these entities may be employed for tax evasion, enabling the manipulation of financial structures to shift funds through low-tax jurisdictions and thereby reduce overall tax liabilities. Fraudulent activities, including the creation of fictitious transactions and false financial statements, are also perpetrated through shell companies to deceive investors, creditors, or regulatory authorities. Fraudulent activities, including the creation of fictitious transactions and false financial statements, are also perpetrated through shell companies to deceive investors, creditors, or regulatory authorities. Legitimate businesses may employ shell companies for asset protection, isolating valuable holdings to shield them from potential legal liabilities. Circular ownership structures and dormant entities further complicate matters, as intricate layers of complexity can be exploited to disguise the true flow of funds and ownership relationships. While some entities register dormant shell companies for future use, others leverage the transactional privacy afforded by these entities during sensitive negotiations or strategic business moves. It is crucial to acknowledge that while shell companies can serve legitimate purposes, their opacity poses significant challenges for authorities combating financial crimes. Globally, regulators are actively working to implement measures aimed at enhancing transparency and curbing the misuse of shell companies for illegal activities. The research, published by Richard Graham, a director at Moody's Analytics, delves into the alarming discovery of 21 million red flags associated with these shell entities. These flags encompass a spectrum of potential financial crimes, ranging from dubious addresses to the highly irregular phenomenon of directors, seemingly defying the limits of human longevity. Take, for instance, the revelation that more than 2 My 200 companies boast directors aged 123 years and above. To put this into perspective, the oldest known human lived to be 122. The research even spotlights a director listed as a remarkable 942 years old, a birth date that would place them in the 11th century. This atypical directorship represents just one of the 7 key behaviors outlined in the research, which include mass registration, dormancy, and circular ownership. Despite global efforts to enhance transparency in the realm of shell companies through new regulations, the report suggests there is still considerable ground to cover, with a staggering $1.6 trillion being laundered annually, as per Moody's Analytics data. Ted Data, head of the Financial Crime Compliance Practice for Europe, Africa, and the Americas at Moody's Analytics underscores the mounting complexity organizations face in understanding true ownership structures and detecting risky corporate relationships. Ted Data, head of the Financial Crime Compliance Practice for Europe, Africa, and the Americas at Moody's Analytics, underscores the mounting complexity organizations face in understanding true ownership structures and detecting risky corporate relationships. Data emphasizes the importance of identifying these discrepancies to empower investigators and analysts in combating fraud effectively. The report highlights several alarming cases, such as a China-based textile and clothing manufacturer reporting over $2 billion in revenues in 2019 despite having just one employee. There are also instances of directors listed below the age of 5 and a staggering 22,000 entities claiming a registered address at Egypt's pyramids. Furthermore, the study brings to light an individual holding a mind-boggling 551 roles at 283 different entities. Conducting the study in November, Moody's Analytics scrutinized 472 million companies. The findings revealed that the UK topped the list with nearly 5 million flags, indicating potential shell company risks, while companies registered in the US had the most flags related to financial anomalies, exceeding 125 million. Panama emerged as a hotspot, with 47% of companies in the jurisdiction raising concerns. However, the number of anonymous registrations halved following the Panama Papers investigations. While acknowledging that shell companies may have legitimate purposes, Moody's Analytics emphasizes that their opaqueness often becomes a cover for criminal financial activities. The report identifies additional red governance flags, including jurisdictional risk, outlier ultimate beneficial ownership, and financial anomalies, painting a comprehensive picture of the challenges in addressing these covert financial entities.